These are the foods that you should stockpile before Trump takes office on January 20th, 2025. He says he's going to put a 25% import tariff on these foods from Mexico. You want to stock up today, according to USA Today, on these foods. Cereals. I would not stock up on cereals. I do stock up on cereals, but I'm not worried about it being affected by tariffs. Why? The majority of our flour is produced here in the United States. Most of our cereal is produced here in the United States. They're not going to be importing a lot of cereals from Mexico when we already have so much produced here in the United States. Processed fruits and nuts, yeah, I could see canned fruits and nuts being affected by that, but honestly, I kind of have a hard time eating fruits and nuts grown at those places, so I don't really eat a lot from there. I do, I'm not going to say I never do, but it just kind of gives me the willies eating food that is produced outside of the United States, especially in third world countries. Tropical fruits, I think they're talking about fresh tropical fruits like pineapples and mangoes and kiwis, those types of things. Well, kiwis wouldn't be produced in Mexico, but you know what I mean. I really, stuff like pineapples and stuff like that. I don't know, does Mexico even produce pineapples? I don't know. Let's just Google it real quick. Okay, so it says here, pineapples, avocados, mangoes, bananas, papaya, coconut, limes, pomegranate are the main ones that people eat here. So, I mean, yeah, the price might go up on those, but it's ridiculous for them to say to stockpile on tropical fruits because you're not going to be able to store them unless you can them yourself, which is difficult to do for acidic foods like pineapple. So I really wouldn't worry about that. If you eat those kinds of things on a regular basis, yeah, you're just going to have to accept if you're not going to eat food that's locally grown here, you're going to pay a little bit more. Guys, I have a free gift for you. It is an almost $30 value. We are going to give you our Dining on a Dime cookbook ebook, volume number 1, free at livingonadime.com. Click on our shop, click on our ebooks, click on Dining on a Dime volume 1, add it to your cart. When you go to checkout, use the coupon code DINING1 and you will get our ebook absolutely free with no obligation and no strings attached. Go grab this while you can. Visit us at livingonadime.com. Tomatoes, onions, lettuce, same thing. Yeah, the price may go up, but you're just going to have to accept that if that's what you eat is fresh fruits and vegetables like that are imported from Mexico. Pickled foods. Okay, I could see a lot of pickled foods. Pickles, sauerkraut, horseradish, those types of foods. Yeah, your price might go up on those and you may want to stock up if you eat a lot of pickles or pickled type foods. You may want to stock up on those. Dairy products, eggs and honey. Most of our dairy is produced here in the United States. That's ridiculous to think that dairy is going to go ridiculously high, and the same with eggs. Most of it is produced here in the United States. It's ridiculous to think that you should stockpile on those things. Beer and hard liquor. Okay, I could see that going up in price, but if you're drinking that much beer and hard liquor, if you want to save money, you just need to give it up. Coffee, teas, spices. Okay, I could see coffee, teas, and spices going up. I would say if you're a coffee drinker and you like your spices like Mike likes his garlic, I would probably go ahead and stock up at least a year's worth just to see how it's going to go. It's not going to cost you that much to buy a year's worth of coffee, tea, and spices. Meat, fish, and seafood. Once again, I'm kind of leery about eating anything meat related, especially. I mean, I can almost handle fruits and nuts, but I don't know, maybe not even fruit, but meat related foods, yeah, it will probably go up in price. And if it's canned and you're buying it from Mexico, then yeah, it might be more expensive. But I would just eat the meat that's produced here in the United States. Sauces and seasonings, yes, I would go ahead and stock up on those if you eat a lot of sauces and seasonings. I make most of my stuff homemade, and I just buy these types of seasonings. So, you know, go ahead and stock up on your seasonings so you can make it. Baked goods, why are you buying baked goods from Mexico? I mean, I would not do that. I would just buy baked goods that are made here in the US, and I really wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I guess if your ding-dongs and ho-hos are made in Mexico, maybe. But in that situation, once again, you need to just be cutting those out. Avocados, once again, very ridiculous to be saying you should be stocking up on avocados. Yes, the price is going to go up, and if you eat avocados on a regular basis, you need to just expect that the price is going to go up again. The next thing is raw sugar. I mean, yeah, I could see the price probably going up, so I would go ahead and stock up on that if you use a lot of raw sugar. But guys, here's the main thing. Yes, the price could start going up on some of these things. I get that. I understand. But I don't know that it's going to go up that much. We made it through Biden raising all of our food prices like 25%. I just can't see that it's going to be going that much higher. Very possible, but I think that there are enough alternatives that we produce here in the US that it's really not going to be a big problem. Now, I could be totally wrong on that, and I would say if you're worried about it and you don't have any credit card debt or anything, go ahead and stockpile. But here's the thing. If you have credit cards and you're paying 29% interest, even if you're paying 10% interest on your credit cards, and then you go and buy all of this to stock up because you're afraid that Trump is going to make the prices go so much higher, that's just ridiculous. Just get your credit cards paid off first and then just stockpile later when you can. I stockpile because I have the cash to pay for it. I don't put it on my credit cards. Well, I put it on my credit cards and then we pay it off each month. We are not anti-credit card. We use credit cards. But we are anti-carrying a balance on your credit cards. It is a very extremely rare case when we carry a balance on our credit cards, and then it's usually only a month or two that we do that if we have to do that. And there's only been 2 extenuating circumstances when that's happened. But I'm just saying, stop worrying about stockpiling food if you have credit cards that you're paying off. Stop worrying about stockpiling food if you have car payments that you're trying to pay off. Stop worrying about stockpiling food if you have student loans that aren't paid off. If you have all of this other debt, but you're worrying about foods, it's absolutely ridiculous. I saw an article on CNN and I was just shaking my head. This woman, Gaylon, she said that she understands she was really worried about all the prices going up, and she understands she's taking a gamble stockpiling goods, especially when she has more than $200,000 in student loan debt she's accumulated from getting her PhD and helping cover her college tuition for her 2 kids. $200,000 in student loan debts, and this woman has her PhD. And she cannot figure out the sheer stupidity of stockpiling when she has $200,000 in student loans. It is absolutely flabbergasting. And these people have their PhD. This just goes to show that going to college does not make you very smart. Oh my goodness. She says, but concerns having to potentially pay a lot more for goods in the future due to high tariffs pushed her and her mom, whom she helps support financially, to stock up on goods after the election. When I logically think about it, sometimes it feels irrational. She is thinking about this, and she knows it's irrational. But I just remember how hard it was during the pandemic when we couldn't find certain things, and when we found them, they were really expensive. If we don't need it, it's fine. We'll just still have it. Let's just stock up on the stuff that we had a hard time finding before, or it was just really expensive. She said ultimately Stockpiling feels like she's robbing Peter to pay Paul, she said, given her debt burden on top of all her immediate living expenses. She doesn't even listen to what she is saying. It is absolutely asinine to be stockpiling when you have $200,000 in student loans, when you have car payments, when you have credit card debts, when you have home equity loans, when you have payday loans. If you have all of those things, don't even think about stockpiling. Don't even think about stockpiling. It is absolutely ridiculous. Your problem is not President Trump coming into office. Your problem is your spending, period. Your problem is getting your nails done. Your problem is getting your toenails done. Your problem is buying the coffee every day on the way to work. Your problem is driving the new car. Your problem is not stockpiling. I don't stockpile because I'm afraid of prices going up, per se. I stockpile because I live in Wyoming, and at any given time, like she said, you may not be able to get anything. I always keep extra toilet paper on hand. Why? Because when COVID hit, I saw the writing on the wall, and the day they closed schools in our town, the next morning, they closed at 5 o'clock at night. At 8 o'clock the next morning, I was at the grocery store when it opened, and I bought $1,000 worth with, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 baskets worth of groceries, because I knew people were going to go crazy. So I got there and got several items of everything to restock my stockpile. We were moving. I had let my stockpile go down, so I wasn't at my normal stockpileness. I don't know what you want to call that, but I had let my stockpile go down because we were moving and we didn't want to move it all. So we had been eating on it. But as soon as that happened, let me tell you, I went to the store and took care of it, and I paid cash for it. Well, I put it on our credit cards, and then we paid our credit cards off because I get the points, and we use that for returns. But that's a whole nother thing. I'm not anti-credit card at all. I'm anti-using them the wrong way. For me, they are a tool, and I have control over what I put on my credit cards. I don't just go spend money and buy things because I have free money on the credit cards. No, to me, that is something that we are going to have to pay. And I already have it written out of the checkbook in my mind. I already know, okay, if it's not in the checkbook, I'm not buying it. So I stockpile because I want to stay prepared all the time. So when people like this lady say, well, it feels, when I think logically about it, sometimes it feels like it's irrational. Yeah, it is irrational. You have a PhD and you can't figure this out to get it from here to here so that you understand that, or from here to here. I don't know which direction it's going. So what are the things I would stockpile in case the prices go up from tariffs on foods coming in from Mexico? I would say probably your pickled foods, your maybe honey, if honey is coming from there, your coffee, your tea, your spices, your sauces, your seasonings, and maybe your raw sugar. Maybe stock up on those, but all the other stuff, guys, you can't stockpile on fresh fruits and vegetables unless you're going to be canning it yourself. Dairy and eggs, that's ridiculous. Just, you can't really stockpile on that. So those are the foods that I would recommend that you stockpile for the tariffs that are possibly coming on January 20th, 2025. If you guys want more stockpile tips, please go watch this video next. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We'll see you guys next time.